Digital Families Across the Lifecourse is a knowledge exchange programme by the Centre for Research on Families and Relationships, funded by the Scottish University's Insight Institute. We want to find out more about the impact of digital technology on everyday life. To help us think about these issues, we asked members of the public to tell us about their experiences.
For me, it would be banking. All the things my kids are using that I'm not entirely sure what they're doing.
My dad, the radio I got for Christmas, digital.
Luddite.
Think about computers.
I wouldn't say physical technology, I'd say more software technology is digital rather than hardware.
I don't know what that means.
From the phone in your pocket to the interactions you make on the internet, to how you're identified now through gov.verify and things like that.
Don't understand it because I never use it.
It's the present now, it's the future to come. Heavens knows where we're going to go from that.
I've got friends that live in Australia that when they first moved over, we did do kind of Skyping for it, but not very often, or Facebook.
I lived in Britain before the whole, internet 4G thing, and just to be in touch with my friends and family in France was a bit more complicated.
I've got an auntie in America and I Facebook her.
A lot of our family lives far away, so they just jump on the phone and they could talk to the kids, or you could keep in contact with people. Even my mother, who's 86, has an iPad and an iPhone, and I can FaceTime her. She's in Stranraer, so that's quite good for me because I can actually see her.
I only use it to talk to my uncle who's in Germany.
I do, yeah. I remember Betamax, VHS.
It's like another world. With digital stuff coming in, like the phones, etc. There was none of that when I was younger.
Yeah, I remember those days. And being outside rather than indoors.
When I was young, there was a PS2, but I never played it. I was about adventuring, going walking places and going out on my bike all the time, so I didn't have all this technology surrounding me.
Without any phones or anything.
It was better. I remember a time when the world was at peace, and nobody was Facebook and saying that I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that to you. It was face to face sort of stuff.
It's just so fast nowadays. I liked it. It was carefree. You didn't have to worry as much, you know what I mean?
I think we're just becoming too dependent on it.
We have got a problem with digital inclusion because it's still a fairly expensive technology. If you can afford it, it's absolutely marvellous.
Well, I would say everything's so involved in it now. Should there be some reason for it to all go down, it would be disastrous.
It's made the world very unsociable, I think, because nowadays people would rather text someone or message someone over Facebook rather than give them a phone or speak to them face to face.
I think like everybody else, for his age group, his parents worry about how much time he spends, and his older brother, they spend a lot of time.
The fact we're addicted to it, and if you forget your phone or you haven't been online for a while, you kind of feel that you're missing out on something, which is a bit scary at times.
I don't know if it would be the easy access to the internet, and not so much for my kids because they're still a little bit young yet, but I know through other friends, social media can have an impact on children in a kind of negative way.
None of the kids go out and play anymore, so it's had a detrimental effect to health, to obesity and things like that, because kids are not as active as they were.
With kids now, when you put a picture up, you have to put all these settings just to make sure only your friends and family are seeing it, instead of it hitting the internet and then people you don't want seeing your kids is actually getting access to your kids.
There's an increase in pornography and all the things that are the not good side of human nature, if you like.
I think it's the hacking that's sometimes too easy for people, that they can hack into things.
Well, we've discussed and worried a lot about the amount of time our kids spend with their noses pressed against the screen.
If we do not put a limit to it, then the good of digital technology have become evil. Like the Facebook and all these new apps coming up, we have to put a restriction to it. most especially for kids. Even for we adults too, we have to learn how to manage our time. Because at times, if you don't know how to manage your time, you just spend days on playing with computers and all this, and you waste your time.
I don't allow them at the dining table anymore because they just don't know how to talk. They don't have to know how to tell you about their day.
I think people being able to access your details. Yeah.
Antisocial behaviour.
Yeah, it does. It encourages.
Laziness.
It's intrusive. If you've got a mobile phone, people think they can phone you any time of the day, and if you don't answer, they're like, what was wrong with you? Why did you not answer your phone?
I would say terrible Wi-Fi.
Well, the lack of conversation with people. They never talk to you nowadays.
Everything Skype. Who'd have thought 30 years ago you'd be able to open the computer and speak to your family on the other side of the world in an instant? It's revolutionary.
TV.
Telephone. My mobile phone. Take it everywhere with me. It's always on me. I can do anything on it.
The camcorder is brilliant.
Probably the internet and all the, like everyone, I suppose, we just became so addicted to it, didn't we?
Video calling is that I work away from the kids, so when I'm on the bus or when I'm at work or something and I'm on my break, I get a chance to see the kids when 10, 20 years ago you couldn't have that.
The interconnectedness, and immediate access to information for school or whatever.
But you have everything on your phone these days. Sat-navs, radio, Walkman.
Yeah, email.
Part of something that we do as our living involves a holiday cottage that I operate for a friend, and all of my bookings for that, all of my communications are done by email, by a website. I use Airbnb, so basically that facilitates this long-distance business that I operate.
Just the fact that it's quick and easy, it's good. I mean, just the fact that you've got information any time you want it or require it.
I suppose it's this instant thing that you get with photographs and memories, that you can take photographs from the 60s and now you've got them right on your iPad. Fantastic.
Yeah. Like browsing the internet for things before you buy them. Searching.
Yeah. My 13-year-old is quite a clever child anyway, but he's learned a lot of things from the internet, from using his devices that we didn't have. If you wanted to find out things, you had to go to the library and look them up. He can, when he has a thought and says, how does that work? What happens to this? He looks it up. And so he's got that information. So in some ways it is really good, because then we had to either ask our parents or go to the library and find them out, and he can find them out now.
Without a doubt, the availability of personal computers and the World Wide Web, Berners-Lee's got to be a lot to be thanked for.
Things like prescriptions and that, you want to get a prescription from your doctor passed over to the chemist. You can get all that done and they'll come and deliver it for you, and it's all done through the internet.
Being able to listen to my music and be able to get into contact with people that I like.
The youngest one that won't come to the camera had to get her tablet taken off her because she tries to spend far too much time on it.
Everyone's just kind of in the room, separate.
We've bought good quality Wi-Fi and stuff, so they all disappear off to their bedrooms with their tablets and phones and stuff and do their own things. So yeah, it helps keep harmony in the house.
I want to be on it for so long, and I can't have that. I didn't like that, so I like to know what she's up to, and I normally turn the Wi-Fi off so she can't get it.
We moved house recently, and we had to share an Xbox, and it was his, so I was kind of not really get on it that much. We would sometimes fight over who wanted to go on it and who didn't. And then we moved into a new house. I got my own one, so it's kind of, we don't really fight over that anymore. So.
When my daughter's on the iPad or whatever, you could be talking away and she's distracted by engines, just so yeah, it does cause some problems, aye.
It sometimes can when I'm on my phone a bit too much.
I think social media is the big one. It's get off the phone.
It's my turn to use the tablet. You've got my phone. It's my turn on the Xbox. You've got the all the time.
It's a great way to connect with people. Like, for instance, most of our family live overseas, so that's a great way to talk to them.
It helps when I get my daughter's schoolwork, the iPads, whatever.
I would say I much prefer to live in the past. Unfortunately, I have to move on because of my children. I've got to learn how to use an iPhone, an iPad, I've got an Apple computer, and I've got to keep up to date with all that, and it's quite difficult when you get to my era.
Going by my daughter, and I like to order things online and all the rest of it. Like, you know, it's a lot easier. It saves her from going out doing shopping and that.
Well, I go on a lot to go onto YouTube. I watch Howard Henry and songs.
I'll be honest, the kids can teach my partner things on the tablet now and iPads. It's all driven into them at school now, and it does aid and benefit the learning and development at school.
While we were in Africa long ago, if you have families abroad, you have to wait for months for letters to come, and phones were not there. So you might have family abroad. If the letter does not come, you never hear from them. But just now, I could pick up my phone and say hello to my dad, and he hears me. That makes life much more easier.
This video was made as part of a project exploring the impact of digital technology on family life, funded by the Scottish University's Insight Institute.